For the last 71 years, we've watched some of the greatest moments in sports history.
There's Mikan. His quick set is off the rim, but George makes good in his second try, 85 to 81.
Being guarded by Dennis Johnson.
Byron Scott is in the ball game now. 5 seconds to go. Matches with a hook shot. Scores with 2.
The look away to Livingston. Jordan. Oh, a spectacular move by Michael Jordan. That's 13 consecutive field goals.
Iverson, bothered by Lewis. Iverson. How about that? And it steps over Toronto.
7 straight points by Iverson. Looked like he was dead in the water.
The Sixers, a 1-point game. Walker can tip it. Bryant with the save. He's going to get a shot. Final seconds. Bryant for the win.
They do have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry! With 0.6 of a second remaining.
Lillard, a chance to send the Thunder home. Lillard, long range 3. It's good! At the buzzer! Damian Lillard! Are you kidding me?
But what if we went all the way back and redid it? Today is the year 1967, guys. Welcome back to another episode of NBA 2K Resimulation, History Resimulation, here on NBA 2K21. If you guys have missed any of the previous episodes, or if you guys are new to the channel, go down in the description down below. There is the playlist for this series as well as the 2K20 version. Also, hit that like button and subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. So let's go ahead and a quick recap here, at least of just the last episode. Bob Pettit has been winning MVPs left and right here. He now has 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 MVPs, which I believe breaks the record. Mike can add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, ties Mikan. It ties Mikan. Bob Cousy ended up with what? 1, 2, 3, 4, I believe. Yeah, 4 of them. So we got 7 for Pettit and Mikan, 4 for Bob Cousy, and those are the only 3 players that have won MVP. As for the last episode, the dynasty in Detroit is pretty much over. It looks to be pretty much gone. At least that dynasty. We'll see if they can get things going here. But the Warriors won back-to-back with Bill Russell and Bob Cousy joined that team. Obviously, a very, very, very good team in San Fran. And then the Lakers, with Rick Barry and Nate Thurman, they won last year, beating the Baltimore Bullets. So that's kind of what happened in the last episode. Like I said, if you guys missed anything in the previous episodes, go back and check them out. Real quick, before we get going on the 1967 offseason, got a couple things to go over. The San Diego Rockets are now in the league. They will not be getting a draft pick this year. The Seattle Supersonics are now in the league. They will not be getting a draft pick. I believe there's maybe 3 or 4 players in this draft class. I guess in real life, they got the 6th and 7th pick. Yeah, 6th and 7th. I think the Supersonics, they got pick 6. In which they ended up taking Al Tucker, and then the Rockets ended up taking Pat Riley. But there are not 6 players in this draft class, I believe. Actually, there might be. I'll go ahead and show you guys the draft class. No, there's 3. So I couldn't find Pat Riley. I couldn't find Mel Daniels. I couldn't find Jimmy Walker. Bob Rule or Louis Dampier. There were some other guys, unfortunately, that I could not find. So we got Walt Frazier, Phil Jackson, and Earl Monroe. Walt Frazier and Earl Monroe are obviously the 2 biggest names in that, and Phil Jackson, I guess, but more as a coach. But yeah, Earl Monroe and Walt Frazier entering the league. So the Supersonics and the Rockets will not be getting a pick, like I said. So let's jump into the offseason, get to the draft, and see what happens. Retirements here. Dolph Schayes retires with Philly. Dolph Schayes, over the course of his career, had 8 All-Star appearances. He was a 4-time first-team All-NBA, 2-time second-team All-NBA, 7-time third-team All-NBA, 10-time first-team All-Defensive, and 4-time second-team All-Defensive. Never won a championship. Neil Johnston retires. 2-time NBA champion, 6-time All-Star. George Yardley retires. 1-time NBA champion, 3-time All-Star. Bob Cousy retires. A 4-time MVP, 3-time NBA champion. Just won it with Rick Barry and Nate Thurmond. He was a 16-time All-Star, 12-time first-team All-NBA, 1-time second-team All-NBA, and a 3-time third-team All-NBA. One of 3 players to win the MVP award. Bob Cousy officially retires. His last year in LA averaged 16 points per game, 7.7 assists. His best year was probably here in 58-59, 37 points per game, 5.8 rebounds, and 3.8 assists. Or I guess right here, 43 points per game. But that was the year where I brought down the shot clock. But a dominant player over the course of his career, averaged 27.8 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 5.9 assists, shooting 64% from the field. So that's a big one. Earl Lloyd retires. Let's go to his awards here. He is a 2-time NBA champion, a 7-time All-Star, 3rd-team All-NBA once, and 2nd-team All-Rookie. Obviously, his rookie year. So I believe that's it for the... Oh, no, and Ray Felix retires. 1-time champion, 2-time Sixth Man of the Year winner, and he was on the first-team All-Rookie team his rookie year. So there you go. Those are the right retirements. Let's get into the Hall of Fame here. Bob Cousy, obviously, we've gone over his numbers. Bob Cousy retires. Dolph Schayes gets into our Hall of Fame. And Neil Johnston as well getting to the Hall of Fame. And then jersey retirements. Bob Cousy gets his number retired in Boston, in LA. And then Dolph Schayes gets his jersey retired in Philly. And then Neil Johnston gets his jersey retired by San Fran between 1950 to 1960, or 1949 to 1960. And then 1964 to 1965. I believe that's right. So there you go. Big retirements. New rule change here. I am changing the shot clock back to 24. I went into settings. I turned down the pace. I turned off three-pointers. I turned off all of it. So, and then I upped. I'll show you guys, I guess, in a little bit. But, yeah. So we are going to test it. Put the shot clock at 24. And see what happens. I'll try and find it again. I think it's just under general here. Also, playoff length fixed. We're good. Semifinals, conference finals, NBA finals are all 7 games. The first round, when that does come into play here in 1975, will be 3 games until 83, and then in 83 it goes up to 5. So there you go. That's all good to go. On to the 1967 NBA draft. And the Chicago Bulls get the #1 overall pick. They were the worst team out of the real teams, not including, obviously, Seattle and San Diego. So here we go. The Chicago Bulls with the #1 overall pick takes Walt Frazier. With the #2 overall pick, the Detroit Pistons take Earl Monroe. And with the 3rd overall pick, the Cincinnati Royals take Phil Jackson. So there is your 1967 NBA draft. In the 1967 NBA free agency here, Bob Pettit does stay with the Hawks. Oscar leaves Boston. Wow. So Oscar goes to the Bullets, who just lost in 5 to the Lakers. So Oscar Robertson leaving Baltimore. Interesting. Okay. Nate Thurmond staying with the Lakers. Lenny Wilkins leaves Philly, replaces Bob Cousy in LA. Interesting. LaRusso going from the Royals to the Pistons. Henson going from, or staying in Detroit. So Detroit gaining a couple guys, LaRusso and the rookie, whoever they grabbed. I can't remember for some reason. Gus Johnson staying in Baltimore. Barnett staying in Boston, but he loses his teammate. Lovelet going from Boston to Philly. Sears staying in San Fran. Twyman goes to the Rockets. Hutchins goes to the Lakers. Let's see. Cooper going to Seattle. Gene Shue going to the Warriors. Walter Dukes going to the Warriors as well. And that's it. So there you go. A big move, though. Oscar Robertson going to the defending Eastern Conference champions, the Baltimore Bullets. The 1967-1968 NBA season is now over, and Willis Reed wins MVP. So, real quick, this season I messed with the pace and the shots and all that quite a bit. So they're all really, really, really low. So I'm doing my best with that. We'll see how it works next season. So numbers are a little inflated this year, but not super bad, right? So we're working on it with the 24-second shot clock. When we jump into games, I want it to be 24 seconds. So I'm messing with the pace. It might take a couple of seasons, but eventually we'll kind of get it down. So anyways, Willis Reed wins most valuable player with the 76ers. Willis Reed, I was kind of following Willis Reed because if you go by month, in December, the initial pace and everything, I had it at 40 or whatever. I dropped it down to 20, and you can kind of see as we went, it got a little bit better. So we'll see. And as we add more teams and more players, it'll kind of even out. But at least it's not broken like it was last time around when we did things. Actually, I'm curious if we go to, let's see, game highs. He got 71. So that's pretty high. But we're not seeing 90, or I think someone got 98 points. I think it was Havlicek in that 2K20 series. So it's a little bit better. It's a little bit better. So anyways, Willis Reed wins MVP. And if you go to override and you look at everyone else's numbers, it's not crazy. There's quite a bit of players that average 30. But there was 5 players that was averaging 40 within the first 2 months. So it definitely went down. So it should be better next season. But Willis Reed averaging 40.5 points per game, 18 rebounds, and 4 blocks per game. As you can tell, also percentages and all that's down. Walt Frazier, 33 points per game, 6.5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals. He wins Rookie of the Year in Chicago. Bill Russell wins DPOY, shocker, 23 points per game, 20.7 rebounds, 3 assists, and 4 blocks per game. So on to the All-NBA teams. Walt Frazier, Barnett, Havlicek, Bob Pettit, and Willis Reed are on the All-NBA first team. All-NBA second team, we got Oscar. His first year in Baltimore averaged 23, 5, and 11.5 assists. Gail Goodrich, Rick Barry with the Lakers averaging 33, 10, and 6. Billy Cunningham and Wilt Chamberlain in New York averaging 23 points per game, a career high, 17 rebounds, and 8.6 assists. So he's looking more like Wilt ever since he went to New York. Interesting. All-NBA third team, Jerry West, Sam Jones, Gus Johnson, Jerry Lucas, and Bill Russell. Jerry West averaging 25 and 9. All defensive first team, we got Jerry West, Joe Caldwell, Gus Johnson, Bob Pettit, and Bill Russell. And then on the all defensive second team, we got Casey Jones, Walt Frazier, Tom Sanders, Elgin Baylor, and Willis Reed. On to the NBA playoffs here. We will go ahead and just simulate round number 1. The Bulls, Celtics are eliminated. The Rockets are eliminated. And the Supersonics are eliminated. So neither of those teams officially made the playoffs. The Lakers are playing the Royals here in the first round. The Lakers with Lenny Wilkins, his first year in LA, averaging 15 and 11. Tom Gola, Rick Barry, Jerry Lucas, and Nate Thurman. Then we got, on the other side, we got Cincinnati with Tom Sanders, Sam Jones, Casey Jones, Phil Jackson, and Maurice Stokes. On the other side in the West, we got Gene Shue, Richie Urin, John Havlicek, Sears, and Bill Russell with the 2-seeded Warriors. The 3-seeded Hawks, we got Jerry West, John McLaughlin, Lou Hudson, Bob Pettit. And then in the East, We got the number 1 seeded New York Knicks with Dave Bing, Joe Caldwell, Elgin Baylor, Bob Love, and Wilt. They're playing the 76ers, who have Gail Goodrich, Don Nelson, Clyde Lovelett, and Willis Reed, the rookie of, or not the rookie of the year. Got confused there, but Willis Reed. And then Baltimore with Oscar, his first year in Baltimore. Got Keith Erickson, David DeBusschere, Gus Johnson, and Walt Bellamy. And then Detroit with Earl Monroe. His rookie year averaged 15.8 points per game and 7.5 assists. Van Arstel, Cliff Hagan, Tom Henson, and Rudy LaRusso. Cliff Hagan, an 87 overall, averaging 25, 8, and 5 this year at the age of 36. So here we go. The official round number 1 in a 7-game series, by the way. Finally fixed. My bad, guys. The 76ers are eliminated. The Royals, the Hawks, and the Bullets are eliminated. So Detroit upsets Baltimore. New York finishes Philly in 5. The Lakers beat the Royals in 6. And the Warriors and Hawks go to 7. But the Warriors end up winning that series. So we got the Lakers with Nate Thurman going up against the Warriors, who have Bill Russell. This is a fun series. You got Rick Barry versus Havlicek. You got Gene Shue versus Lenny Wilkins. Bill Russell versus Nate Thurman. That's a fun series. Then we got the Knicks and the Pistons. We got Earl Monroe versus Dave Bing. Elgin Baylor versus Cliff Hagan. And we got Rudy LaRusso versus Wilt, who's up to a 99 overall, who's averaging 22, 17, and 8. Remember, last year the Lakers beat the Bullets, so the Bullets won't be going to the NBA Finals this year. But can the Lakers win their second straight NBA title, or will the Warriors get back to the NBA Finals after beating the Pistons back-to-back a few years ago? So here we go. Game number 1. The Detroit Pistons win game 1 over the Knicks, 127-116. Van Arsel with 35, 5, and 8. Henson with 31 and 14. Hagan with 26, 7, and 6. Earl Monroe with 11 and 11. The Warriors, they beat the Lakers. Rick Barry with 34, 8, and 8. Thurman 28 and 17. Look at Jerry Lucas, 14, 13, and 12. Was not enough, though. Havlicek put up 43, 6, and 9. Bill Russell, 21, 15. Guerin had 30. Game number 2, the Knicks tie it up. Wilt Chamberlain with 27 and 15. Bing with 20 and 14. Caldwell with 20. Elgin Baylor with 13 and 10. Earl Monroe was not enough for the Pistons, but had 26. LaRusso had 20 rebounds. And the Lakers tie up the Warriors at 1 apiece. Rick Barry with 40 points, 8 rebounds, 12 assists. Nate Thurman with 24 and 12. Havlicek had 25. Bill Russell had 22 and 19 rebounds. But that was not enough. Game number 3, the Knicks take a 2-1 lead. Bing with 28 and 7. Caldwell with 27 and 7. Will had 17 and 10. Bob Love had 17 and 10. Elgin Baylor had 18, 4, and 6. That is, the Knicks are really good. That's a good team, man. The Lakers tie up or take a 2-1 lead. Havlicek with 49 was not enough. Nate Thurman with 34 and 15. Rick Barry had 33, 8, and 7. Wilkins had 20 and 12. Lucas had 22, 11. Man, the Lakers and the Knicks are definitely the two best teams. The Knicks win game 4, go up 3-1. Caldwell with 30. Walker with 24 off the bench. Wilt had a triple-double, 20, 17, 13, and 6 steals. Baylor with 16 and 4. Love with 15 and 8. Bing with 10 and 9. For the Lakers, Havlicek had 37, 6, and 7. Bill Russell 22, 18, 6 assists, 6 steals, 7 blocks. That was not enough. As they lose by 6, Rick Barry 32, 9, and 9. Thurman at 28 and 20. Wilkins at 19 and 9. Good Lord, Jerry Lucas, 6 points, but had 16 rebounds and 11 assists. So game number 5, the Warriors are eliminated. The Lakers win that series. Rick Barry 31, 10, and 11, a triple-double. Nate Thurman 30 and 19. Wilkins 24 and 12. Jerry Lucas 18, 18, and 6. Game number 5, the Pistons force a game 6. For the Pistons, Henson at 33 and 9. Earl Monroe at 27 and 6. Cliff Hagan 23, 8, and 8. By the way, I just realized Wilt is going up against his former team. That just clicked in my head. So game number 6, and the Detroit Pistons are eliminated. The Knicks make it. Cliff Hagan 37-7 was not enough. Henson 32-11-7 was not enough. And Arsenal 25-3-8. The Knicks, Caldwell had 28-7-11. Bing had 23. Bob Love had 22. Baylor 19-8-13. And Wilt, another triple-double, had 14, 16, 11, and 4 blocks. So this is a fun NBA Finals. We have the Lakers and the Knicks. These two teams haven't met in the NBA Finals since, well, the very beginning. Where, let's see, the last time was in 1954, where the Lakers beat the Knicks in 5. Remember, they faced off in the first 5 NBA Finals. The Lakers beat the Knicks 4 out of those 5 times. The Knicks won it in 52-53. Then the Knicks won it in 55-56, beating the Royals. And I don't think the Knicks have been back. Oh, no, the Knicks then beat the Warriors in 59-60. Elgin Baylor won Finals MVP that year. And I think that's the last time that the New York Knicks have been in the NBA Finals. And obviously the Lakers are now in the NBA Finals for a second straight year, trying to repeat as NBA champions. So the Lakers and the New York Knicks jumping in the Simcast here. A game number 1. And at the half, the Lakers lead 53-47. Into the fourth quarter, the Lakers lead 77-72. And with 28 seconds to go, I stopped it a little too late, but the Lakers look like they're going to win this thing. 102-96, 104-96 is the final score. The LA Lakers take game 1. Rick Barry 29-8 and 6, 3 steals. Nate Thurman had 21 and 14. Wilkins with 14. Caldwell with 21. Baylor 21, 11 and 7. Wilt 13, 12 and 7 was not enough as the Lakers take a 1-0 lead. Here we go. Game number 2. The Knicks off to a quick start here. At the half, lead 65-57. Into the fourth quarter, though, the Lakers have taken a 1-point lead, 93-92 in a high-scoring game. And with 2 minutes to go, just under 2 minutes, the Knicks have taken a 118-116 lead. Down to a minute 20, it's 120-119. Rick Barry with 42, 8 and 4. Lucas with 22, 10 and 6. Thurman kind of struggling, 14 and 10. Wilkins 13, 6 and 14. Bing with 26. Baylor with 25, 5 and 5. Wilt with only 10 points, 7 rebounds, but has 11 assists. So let's jump into this one. Game 2. Can the Knicks tie up the series? So the Knicks have the ball. 120-119, they do lead. Ball into Bing. Bing drives. Nice pass inside to Bob Love. Bob Love puts it in. And the Knicks have a 3-point lead. So here we go. Remember, no 3-point line, essentially. Wilkins gets doubled, passing to Nate Thurman. Nate Thurman puts it in. So back to a 1-point lead with a minute to go. The Lakers are averaging 43.6 assists per game. They have 38 tonight. Here's Dave Bing. In the post, Bob Love, guarded by Jerry Lucas. Bob Love, nice turnaround, misses it though. And the Lakers have a chance to take the lead here. 45 seconds to go. Wilkins brings it up. Drives right. Had Nate Thurman. Does give it to him, and Thurman dunks it to give the Lakers a 1-point lead with 38.5 seconds to go. If you're the Knicks, what do you do here? To give it to Wilt, Elgin Baylor. They've been going to Bob Love here. Actually, I think Wilt might be out. He might have fouled out. Rick Barry is the player of the game. 42 points for Rick Barry. So Kerr will pass it in. Yeah, Wilt is not in the game, so I'm guessing he fouled out. And the Knicks are going to call another timeout. Okay. I don't know. If Wilt is fouled out, they probably do what they've been doing. Go to Bob Love and see what he can do. The Knicks have one timeout left. The Lakers also have one timeout. So here we go. Kerr will pass it in once again. And he gets it in to first last. Walker over to Bing. Bing, tough shot, no good. 30 seconds to go. Remember, 24-second shot clock. King has it. The Lakers trying to get a dagger here to go up by 3. Nice pass to Nate Thurman, and Nate Thurman puts it in. A 3-point lead for the Lakers, which should all but do it. With no timeouts remaining, you gotta hope that the Lakers miss free throws. You gotta score real quick if you're the Knicks. And then you gotta hope that the Lakers miss at least one free throw. And then at that point, you still have a shot. So Knicks gotta go quick here. Pass into Love. Over to Bing. Bing, nice pass to Love. Love dunks it. That was perfect. That's exactly what the New York Knicks needed. Now they gotta hope that the Lakers miss a free throw here. If you're the Lakers, I mean, this is easy. Get it to Rick Barry. If you can get it to Rick Barry, realistically, he should be able to make both. So Thurman will pass it in. He gets it into King, who quickly gets it to Barry. And now Barry with 2 massive free throws. And he misses the first. So Rick Barry with the second is good. Okay. 12 seconds to go. The Knicks down by 2. Bing will hold it. 4 seconds. Nice pass into Bob Love. Bob Love puts it up. Oh, no good. And Lucas pulls down the rebound. That will do it. The Lakers come back to win this one. 126 to 124 to take a 2-0 series lead. So here we go. Game number 3 in New York. And at the half, the Knicks lead big, 56 to 42. At the end of 3, yeah, the Knicks are blowing out the Lakers here to get their first win in this series. 127 to 99. Rick Barry, 33, 7, and 6. Caldwell had 33. Baylor had a triple-double, 26, 10, and 10. Wilt had a triple-double, 24, 12, and 12. Also had 5 steals and 5 blocks. So on to a game number 4 here. And the Knicks once again lead by 23 in the third quarter. Into the fourth, yeah, they're going to blow the Lakers out once again. 132 to 103. Rick Barry had 40. That was not enough as Caldwell puts up 32 and 6. Bing had 32 and 7. Wilt 23, 11 and 6. Bob Love with 20 and 7. Elgin Baylor 11, 11 and 8. And so we have a series now. Tied at 2. Game number 5 in LA. The Knicks have dominated these last 2 games and have an early lead. Take it into the fourth quarter, up by 4. 2 minutes to go. We had a close game. The Lakers tie it up. And with 47 seconds to go, the Lakers just took a 105-103 lead. Let's jump in. Down by 2, 45 seconds to go. Here in the biggest game of the series. And Lucas comes up with the steal. The Knicks threw it away. I believe that was Caldwell who just threw it away. Oh my God, what a another bad turnover. So now the Knicks have it with 28 seconds to go. Caldwell wants to get into Bob Love, can't. Now he does. Love goes left, puts it up, no good, but he is fouled by Jerry Lucas. And Bob Love is now at the free throw line. Down by 2, 20 seconds to go. The first is up and in. And the second is no good. And Rick Barry, well, Lucas came down with the rebound, gets it to Rick Barry, who is fouled. Crowd chanting MVP. Rick Barry up by 1, hits the first, now up by 2. A free throw here would be huge, and he does. He does hit it to go up by 3, 107 to 104. Again, pretty much the same position that we were in game number 2. The Lakers or sorry, the Knicks need a quick bucket here, and they need to hope that the Lakers miss a free throw. Same thing. Looks like Bob Love will pass it in. Rick Barry is your player of the game with 44 points. Man, Rick Barry and Nate Thurman once again coming into this league and just dominating. Pass into Elgin Baylor. Over to Walker. Walker gets a screen. Walker has a lane, puts it up and in. Beautiful. That's exactly what they needed to do. The Lakers now call a timeout, up by 1. Who do you get the ball to? I mean, look, in game 2, Rick Barry missed a big free throw to give the Knicks a chance. The Knicks ended up missing that shot to tie. So who do you get the ball into? I think you still have to give it to your best player in Rick Barry. He hit both free throws here just a little bit ago. They get it into him, and Rick Barry now at the free throw line. And the first is good, and it comes down to this. 10.6 seconds to go, no timeouts. Rick Barry's second free throw is up and in. Wilt will bring it in, gets it to Walker, they gotta go. 5 seconds, Wilt over to Baylor. Baylor, nice pass to Wilt, pass it out to Walker, over to Love. They're gonna have to, they don't even get a shot off. The Lakers win it 109 to 106. I do not know why Wilt passed that layup up. But the LA Lakers take a 3-2 series lead. On to a game number 6. And into the third quarter, the Lakers lead big 68 to 52 over the Knicks. Into the fourth quarter, I mean, this might the Knicks though coming back. Can they make this thing interesting? Or will the LA Lakers win another title? And it looks like the LA Lakers are going to win another title. The LA Lakers repeat. They win back-to-back with the Rick Barry, Nate Thurman duo. They win at game number 6, 123 to 117. Thurman with 32-21. Rick Barry with a triple-double, 32, 10, and 16. Also had 3 steals. Wilkins with 25 and 12, 4 steals. Lucas 14 and 8. For the Knicks, Caldwell at 26. Chamberlain at 24, 14, and 11. 22 and 5 for Bob Love. Elgin Baylor at 28 and 9. Was not enough as the LA Lakers win the 1968 NBA Finals. Rick Barry, your finals MVP, wins back-to-back finals MVPs. Averaged 37 points per game, 7.7 rebounds per game, and 7.2 assists. The duo of Rick Barry, Nate Thurman continue to dominate in this series. It's unbelievable. On to player retirements this year. Paul Arizin retires with the Boston Celtics. Award history, was a one-time All-Star. Wasn't as good as he was in the 2K20 version, which is kind of unfortunate. 3-time third-team All-NBA, 1-time second-team All-Defensive. Chuck Cooper retires as a one-time champion, 1-time All-Star. Mel Hutchins retires as a one-time NBA champion this past season. Or no, I guess that wasn't this past season, was it? No. Was it? 39, 20. I guess it was, right? Yeah, with the Lakers. Anyways, 5-time All-Star. Clyde Lovelett retires with the 76ers as 7-time All-Star. And Paul King retires. Or was he an actual? Dude, I don't. Now I'm confusing myself. Hall of Famers, Clyde Lovelett is the only Hall of Famer in this. 17.5 points per game and 7 rebounds. Entering the 1968 NBA draft, there are 3 players in this draft, and the draft order for the first, 3 picks. We had the Supersonics as with the number 1 overall pick. The Bulls have the number 2 overall pick, and the San Diego Rockets have the 3rd overall pick. So with the number 1 overall pick, the Seattle Supersonics take Elvin Hayes. With the number 2 overall pick, the Chicago Bulls take Wes Unseld. And with the 3rd overall pick, the San Diego Rockets take Cunningham. So there you go. There is the 1968 NBA draft. See what happens in free agency. Into NBA free agency here in 1968. And this is a big year. As you guys can see, there's a couple big moves. But this is a huge, huge, huge year. Because if you guys don't know, this guy named KAREEM ABDUL-JABBAR is coming into the league. And whoever gets the #1 overall pick will get him. So I'm not saying this might be the year to tank, but it might be. Jerry West leaves the St. Louis Hawks, who really haven't done anything with Jerry West and Bob Pettit. He leaves the St. Louis Hawks and he goes to San Francisco to join the Warriors, along with Bill Russell, John Havlicek. That's a good team. That's a really, really good team. A team that was just in the NBA Finals a few years ago. Elgin Baylor leaves the Knicks, even though they just made it to the NBA Finals. Probably wanted a bigger role. He goes to Chicago, one of the newer teams in the league. Willis Reed stays in Philly. Bill Russell. I just realized this. Bill Russell goes to the Hawks. Bill Russell just left the Warriors. When Jerry West went to the Warriors, Bill Russell leaves. It's essentially a trade. And Bill Russell is now with Bob Pettit in St. Louis. Are you kidding me? Tom Sanders leaves the Royals and goes to New York. Joe Caldwell stays in New York. Walt Bellamy goes and joins Jerry West, replaces Bill Russell. That's a big move. Richie Guerin leaves the Warriors and joins Elgin with the Bulls. Maurice Stokes goes to stays with the Royals. Walker stays with the Knicks. Jim King goes from LA to San Diego. Kerr goes to the Bullets. Twyman to the Warriors. Stanley to the Knicks. Or no, these aren't real players. I gotta get their overalls down. But there you go. Wow. A few really, really big moves. We'll see how that impacts the year, and we'll see where Kareem goes #1 overall. The 1968-1969 NBA season is now over, and Willis Reed wins back-to-back MVPs. Pace and all of that is pretty much all down, but the scoring is just as crazy, so I don't know. I don't know if it's really working or not, but we're just going to have to kind of get through the 70s and into the 80s, and I think things will kind of start to chill. But hey, that's what happens when we want a 24-second shot clock. So, and it's not terrible. It's not like he's averaging 50 a game, putting up 90 points as his high. I think his high was like 68. So, I don't know. I mean, there's just not much that we could do with that, unfortunately. So, hey, you know what? 3-pointers aren't being made, so I will. Well, apparently 2040. So that was this year. Someone hit 7 threes. So maybe the 3-point shooting is happening. Maybe that's why. Well, he's not hitting threes. Is anyone hitting threes? Elvin Hayes was 9.7%. Okay. Well, I'll kind of keep an eye on it because I stopped messing with it. So I don't know. I just want to get to the 1960 or 1979, just so that way we don't have to worry about any of this. But anyways, Willis Reed wins MVP, 42 and 18 points per game. Elvin Hayes wins Rookie of the Year with the Sonics, averaging 33 points per game, 15.5 rebounds per game, 3.5 blocks per game. Bill Russell wins Defensive Player of the Year, 19.6 points per game, 16 rebounds, and 3 blocks per game. NBA first team, we got Oscar in Baltimore. He averaged 26, 6, and 9.8. Sam Jones with the Royals. Elgin Baylor with the Bulls. His first year in Chicago, putting up 32 and 15 and 5. Billy Cunningham and Willis Reed round out the All-NBA first team. The second team, Jerry West, first year in San Fran, averaging 27 and 9. Barnett, Hayes, Gus Johnson, and Wilt rounds out the All-NBA second team. Wilt nearly averaged a triple-double. What the heck? 26 points per game, 16.7 rebounds, and 9 assists per game. All NBA third team, we got Walt Frazier, Gail Goodrich, Rick Barry, Bob Pettit, and Walt Bellamy. Rick Barry putting up 33 and 10 per game. All defense first team, we got Jerry West, Joe Caldwell, Elgin Baylor, Gus Johnson, and Bill Russell. And on these all defensive second team, we got Casey Jones, Walt Frazier, Tom Sanders, Bob Pettit, and Willis Reed. So on to the playoffs here, as the Celtics, Rockets, Supersonics do not make the playoffs. Neither do the 76ers. And so into the first round, the Lakers and the Royals play each other in round 1. The St. Louis Hawks and the Warriors play in round number 2, or not round number 2, but in round number 1. And then we got the Knicks and the Bulls. Wow, look at the Bulls making the playoffs with Walt Frazier, Elgin Baylor, and Wes Unseld. It's a solid team. As a 4 seed, though, Baltimore Bullets and the Detroit Pistons face off as well. So here we go. Round number 1, technically, the Royals are eliminated by the Lakers, and the San Francisco Warriors are eliminated by the St. Louis Hawks. So, that's, what's his name? The Hawks beat Jerry West. Wow, look at that. That Warriors team is really good, but not having Bill Russell is probably a big deal. And then Bill Russell beats his former team, put him 19 and 23. Bob Pettit with 44. Interesting. So we got the Lakers and the Hawks. And then we got the Knicks and the Bullets. So with the Bullets, they have Oscar, Erickson, DeBusschere, Gus Johnson, and Red Kerr. And then for the Knicks, got Bing, Caldwell Sanders, Bob Love, and Wilt. The Knicks are really good. And then with the Lakers, we've got, let's see, Wilkins, Gola, Barry, Lucas, and Thurman. And for the Hawks, we got McLaughlin, Hudson, Bob Pettit, and Bill Russell. I'm guessing we're gonna get a Knicks-Lakers series, but we will see. The Knicks go up 1-0. Wilt with 31, 11, and 9. And the Lakers go up 1-0. Rick Barry with 37, 11, and 9. Nate Thurman with 21, 16. A triple-double for Jerry Lucas, 12, 17, and 14. Hudson with 35. Game number 2, the Knicks and Lakers both go up 2-0. Game number 3, the Knicks go up 3-0. The Hawks win game number 3. Game number 4, the Bullets avoid the sweep, down 3-1. The Lakers go up 3-1. And game number 5, the Hawks get eliminated by the Lakers. Rick Barry 35, 11, and 10 in the closeout game. Bob Pettit with 29 and 9. Bill Russell 23 and 12 was not enough. And the Knicks and Bullets, they go to game 6. The Bullets force that. Robertson with 24 and 10. Johnson with 37, 10, and 6. So game number 6, the New York Knicks do beat the Bullets. And we got another repeat here in the NBA Finals. The Lakers are trying to three-peat. The Knicks are trying to win their first in quite a while. As Caldwell had 34, Chamberlain had 29, 17, and 8. Bing with 21 and 11. So here we go. The NBA Finals for the second straight year is the Lakers and the Knicks. Game number 1. The Knicks are up early. At the half, they lead 69-51. Into the fourth, they lead 98-82. And they will win it 124-115. Rick Barry 37, 12, and 8. Nate Thurman 33 and 19 was not enough, as Caldwell has 39. Bob Love 22. Wilt with 19, 14, and 9. 4 steals and 4 blocks. Onto a game number 2. The Knicks lead 1-0. And entering the fourth, they're up 75-68. 2:47 to go. They're up by 9, up by 7, up by 5, and that will do it. The Knicks take a 2-0 lead. They win it 101-96, despite Rick Barry's 40. Will Chamberlain had 24, 11, and 7 assists, 3 steals, and 5 blocks. Caldwell with 21, 5, and 6. Bing with 21 as well. On to game number 3 in LA. LA trying to avoid going down 0-3 here, and pretty much have zero chance at winning their third straight NBA Finals. So here we go. Into the fourth quarter, the Knicks are up by 8. And with 3:30, the Lakers take a 3-point lead. A minute 21, it's a 5-point lead. Can the Knicks make this close? It's a 3-point game. Still a 3-point game. Can they make it 2? Nope. The LA Lakers win game number 3 to avoid going down 0-3. Thurman with 36 and 15. Rick Barry 22, 12 and 7. Lucas with 26, 8 and 4. Wilt had 36, 18 and 6. 4 steals and 8 blocks. He's looking like Wilt in New York. There's a big difference from Wilt in Detroit and Wilt in New York. It's kind of interesting. So game number 4 in LA. LA trying to tie the series up at 2. They lead at the half 60-55. Into the fourth quarter with 10:32 to go, they lead 89-75. And up by 10, up by 9. And they will win it 112-103. Tie up the series. Rick Barry with 46, 13 and 7. Thurman with 17 and 12. Wilt with 24, 14 and 6. 6 steals and 3 blocks. Was not enough, as this series is now back in New York for game number 5. Tied at 2. Into the third, the Lakers up by 2 in a really low scoring game. Into the fourth, the Knicks up by 5. 2:60 to go. 2:60. 3 minutes to go. 82-78. The Knicks with the 4-point lead. And now with a minute to go, it's a 3-point game. Can the Lakers make it? Yes, the Lakers make it a 1-point game. 40 seconds to go. Let's jump in. So here we go. The Lakers down by 1. They have the ball, and they literally just threw it away. Bing with the steal. Over to Sanders, and Sanders with the dunk. And just like that, the Knicks have a 3-point lead with 35 seconds to go. So Wilkins will bring it up. And the Lakers will actually call a timeout here, down by 3 with 30 seconds to go. That was a horrible pass. Down by 1. That's a terrible mistake. For a team who's won 2 straight championships, that's a bad mistake. So here we go. Jerry Lucas. I would not be letting Jerry Lucas pass it in, but, they're going to let him pass it in. And once again, Wilt Chamberlain with 24 points. He is so far the player of the game. The Lakers got to score fast, though. On the road here. Ball into Shu. Shu gets a screen from Thurman. He wants to get it to Thurman here in the post, guarded by Wilt. And Thurman will have it. Thurman one-on-one with Wilt Chamberlain. Thurman puts up, gets blocked by Wilt, gets it back though, gets blocked by Wilt again. And Sanders comes up with the rebound. And that will do it with this one, as Wilt Chamberlain with 2 massive blocks. And that free throw gives the Knicks a 4-point lead. And that will probably do it. So on to game number 6. The Knicks lead it 3-2. The Lakers here now in LA trying to force a game number 7. So at the half, the Knicks lead it 60-56. Into the fourth quarter, the Knicks now lead it 84-66. And that will do it. The New York Knicks win the second NBA Finals here in this video. They win the 1968-1969 NBA Finals, as Wilt Chamberlain is Finals MVP. I believe that's his first Finals MVP. Yeah, Cliff Hagan won all of them in Detroit. And now Wilt, who averaged 24.5 points per game, 15.3 rebounds per game, and 7 assists, 4 steals, 4.7 blocks per game. He's a 99 overall. He has, 7 NBA championships now? Something like that. Guys, we got to start talking about Wilt as, at least top 5, maybe even 3. Maybe even 2. As far as best players in our history. We'll see what happens for the 1969-1970 season, but Wilt Chamberlain off to an amazing start of his career. I mean, through his first 9 years, has won 7 NBA championships. So, absolutely ridiculous. 2 player retirements here. Walter Dukes retires. And I believe actually that might be it. Yeah, no Hall of Famers in this class. Here we are in the draft lottery. And so I wish I would have showed you guys the original, but the Bucks, I believe, had like 7 and the Suns had 5, and the Bucks ended up winning the lottery. So I'm tempted to give it to the Bucks. So here's what I'll do, because Lou Alcindor comes into the league, as you guys know, who is Kareem. In real life, the Milwaukee Bucks won the coin flip in the commissioner's New York office on March 19th and were awarded the first overall pick, while the Phoenix Suns went second. The Supersonics actually had the third, Pistons had 4, Bulls had 5, so on and so forth. So here's what I'm going to do. I downloaded a coin flip app. All right. I'm going to flip it. Heads is the Milwaukee Bucks. Tails is the Phoenix Suns. So here we go. Who will get Kareem? Let's go ahead and flip it. The Phoenix Suns get Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So here we go. The 1969 NBA draft, and with the number 1 overall pick, the Phoenix Suns take Lou Alcindor, other known as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The Suns pretty much won the lottery there. Literally, they lost the lottery and then they won the coin flip. The number 2 overall pick goes to the Bucks, who won the lottery but lost the coin flip. The Milwaukee Bucks take Bob Dandridge. With the number 3 overall pick, the San Diego Rockets take JoJo White. With the 4th overall pick, the Seattle Supersonics take Lucius Allen. By the way, there's 9 picks in this draft. With the 5th overall pick, the Boston Celtics take Rick Robertson. With the 6th overall pick, the Cincinnati Royals take Willie McCarter. The 7th overall pick, the 76ers take Steve Mix. With the 8th overall pick, the Chicago Bulls take Bingo Smith. Wait, is Bingo Smith already in the league? Did I screw that one up? The Warriors, with pick number 9, take Luther Rackley. So there you go. There's the NBA draft. I got to check on Bingo Smith. For some reason, I feel like he's already in the league, but that might have been a script on my part, whatever. So there you go. There's the 1969 NBA draft. We'll see how Kareem does. The 1969 NBA free agency is here, and here we go. Rick Barry is a free agent. He goes back to the Lakers, as I think he was probably a restricted free agent. John Havlicek leaves the Warriors. Wow. Havlicek leaves the Warriors, and he goes to Seattle. Wow. Okay. Interesting. I believe he joins JoJo White in Seattle. The Bucks, they actually get Dave DeBusschere, who leaves Baltimore. Billy Cunningham stays in Boston. Gail Goodrich stays in Philly. Casey Jones actually leaves Cincinnati and joins the Bulls. Van Arstel stays in Detroit. Bob Love stays in New York. McLaughlin stays in St. Louis. Erickson to the Bullets. Kerr to the Pistons. Sears to the Bulls. Twyman to the Bulls. Shoot to the Knicks. And then you got a fake player. So there you go. Wow. Big move. John Havlicek now is a Seattle Supersonic. Could not get anything going in San Francisco. So he is off to Seattle. The 1969-1970 NBA season is now over, and Willis Reed wins his 3rd straight MVP, averaging 39.6 points per game, 17.7 rebounds, 1.5 steals, and 3.8 blocks per game. Lou Alcindor, his rookie year, wins Rookie of the Year, 37 points per game, 13.9 rebounds, 3.3 blocks per game. And Defensive Player of the Year is Willis Reed, who had 1.5 steals per game and 3.8 blocks per game. So there you go. All NBA first team. We got Oscar in Baltimore, averaging 32, 7, and 7. Jerry West in San Fran, averaging 35, 6 assists. Gus Johnson in Baltimore as well, averaging 37 and 17. John Havlicek, his first year in Seattle, averaging 37, 7, and 5. and Willis Reed rounding out the All-NBA first team. All-NBA second team, we got Barnett, Sam Jones, Rick Barry, Dave DeBusschere, and Lou Alcindor. And on the All-NBA third team, we got Walt Frazier, Gil Goodrich, Elgin Baylor, Billy Cunningham, and Wilt in New York, averaging 25, 15, and 8. All defensive first team, we got Van Arstel, Jerry West, Hayes, Gus Johnson, and Willis Reed. And on the second team, all defensive, we got Caldwell, Oscar, Elgin Baylor, Dave DeBusschere, and Wilt Chamberlain. So on to the NBA playoffs here. And we will get to the first round. The Boston Celtics, Baltimore Bullets, San Diego Rockets, Milwaukee Bucks, and the Rookie of the Year in Phoenix do not make the playoffs. Neither do the San Francisco Warriors. So in the first round, we got the Lakers versus the Royals. The Lakers trying to get to a fourth straight NBA championship. We got the St. Louis Hawks versus the Seattle Supersonics. So Bob Pettit and Bill Russell versus we got Lucius Allen, John Havlicek, and Elvin Hayes. And then in the East, we got Detroit versus Philly. In Philly, got Willis Reed, the MVP. They were the 4 seed. The Knicks and the Bulls face off as a 2-3 with Dave Bing, Caldwell, Tom Sanders, Bob Love, and Wilt versus Walt Frazier, Casey Jones, Elgin Baylor, Kenny Sears, and Wes Unseld. So here we go. Obviously, last year it was the Lakers and the Knicks for a, second straight year? Yeah, for a second straight year. The Lakers making it to the NBA Finals for a third straight year, but the Knicks ended up winning it. Wilt Chamberlain was Finals MVP, so we'll see if they can pull that off once again. The Bulls get swept by the Knicks. The Royals are eliminated. The 76ers are gone, and the Seattle Supersonics are eliminated. So we got the Detroit Pistons and the Knicks. Wilt playing his former team here in the Eastern Conference Finals. The Pistons with Earl Monroe, Van Arstel, Cliff Hagan, Tom Henson, and Rudy Lewis. So Cliff Hagan, former, 6-time Finals MVP? Is that right? 6-time? 5-time. 5-time NBA Finals MVP in his 17th year at 38 years old. Is at an 84 overall, averaging at 19 points per game, 7 rebounds and 6 assists here in the playoffs. And then we got the Lakers versus the Hawks. So here we go. Game number 1. The Pistons win game number 1. The Hawks win in game number 2. The Pistons and Hawks both go up 2-0. Wow. Okay. The Lakers-Knicks both win game 3. In game number 4, the Knicks tie up the series at 2 apiece. But the St. Louis Hawks with John McLaughlin, Lou Hudson, Bob Pettit, and Bill Russell go up 3-1 over the Lakers. And they beat the Lakers in 5. Wow. I did not expect that. I did not expect Rick Barry and Nate Thurmond to lose in the Western Conference Finals. Hudson puts up 42. Bob Pettit with 28 and 10. Bill Russell with 19, 18, and 5 blocks. And the St. Louis Hawks are going to the NBA Finals. And in the Eastern Conference Finals, we got the Pistons and the Knicks. The Pistons up 3-2. So game at number 6, the New York Knicks tie up the series. Bob Love with 29. And so game number 7 goes to the Detroit Pistons. Wow. So the defending champions are gone. And we got a new NBA Finals. The Detroit Pistons versus the St. Louis Hawks. Cliff Hagan gets to another one. Which I believe he's 5-1 in the NBA Finals? Is that right? Or did they lose a couple? No, they lost a couple. I think he's 5 and... Is he 5-3? Is that right? Yeah, I think he's 5-3 in the NBA Finals. That's crazy. All right, so here we go. We'll jump into Simcast game number 1. And at the half, the Pistons up by 4. Into the fourth quarter, the Pistons up by 1. We had a close game here. A minute to go, though. The Pistons pull away, and they win at 105-98. Henson with 30, 14, and 7. Monroe with 24 and 11. Hagan with 24, 5, and 3. And the Pistons take a 1-0 lead. So game number 2, once again in Detroit, and at the half, the Hawks lead by 2, 41-39. Into the fourth, the Hawks are blowing out the Pistons. And just like that, the Hawks tie up this series at 1 apiece. They win 103-90. For the Hawks, Hudson had 37, Pettit with 24, 18 and 6. Bill Russell with 16, 19 and 5 blocks. So on to a game number 3 in St. Louis into the third quarter. The Pistons up 64-47. And now we got a close game here. I simmed way too far. 6 seconds to go, though. Pistons up by 1. We'll go ahead and jump in, see what's going on. The Pistons have it with 4 seconds to go. They get fouled. And Earl Monroe will go to the free throw line. He hits the first to make it a 2-point game. The Hawks do not have a timeout. And he makes the second, so Detroit goes up by 3. And the Hawks will put up a half. Oh, that almost went in. The half-court shot doesn't go in, and the Pistons win at game number 3 to go up 2-1. So game number 4 with the Pistons up 2-1. And into the fourth quarter, wow, the Pistons are blowing them out, and they win it 112-89. I mean, come on. Are you kidding me? The Detroit Pistons, I did not think they'd get back. I did not think that Cliff Hagan would ever win another one. And they are up 3-1 over the Hawks. So game number 5 here in Detroit. Detroit trying to hold on here. And into the fourth quarter, Detroit up 87-75. And with a minute 33, they win this one 113-97. Cliff Hagan with 24 and 4. Van Arstel with 25 and 6 and 7. The Hawks, Bob Pettit, 32 and 7 was not enough, as the Detroit Pistons are the 1969-1970 NBA Finals champions, as Van Arstel wins Finals MVP, averaging 21 points per game, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists, as the Detroit Pistons, and Cliff Hagan, by the way, winning his 6th NBA title. Wow. Well, what a surprising way to end this video, to be honest. I did not think the Pistons were going to win it. I thought the Lakers, to be honest, were going to win a third in 4 years. But the Hawks upset them in 5. And now we enter the 1970s. We'll see how Kareem does in the 70s. Obviously, at the end of the 70s, we got Magic and Bird. We are just 15 years away from Michael Jordan. I guess 14 years away from Michael Jordan. We are very close to getting to Bird, Magic, and Jordan era. We are just entering the Kareem era. This is going to be a fun one. Let me know in the comments what your guys' predictions are for the 70s. And also give me like a top 5 list of the best greatest players of all time. I would say top 5 is pretty fair. I would go just off the top of my head. I'd go George Mikan. Then, George Mikan. I think you have to go. Man. Do you go? I guess you still have to go Cliff Hagan, right? And then maybe Wilt? Or do you put Rick Barry there already? Bob Pettit? Bob Pettit hasn't done anything in the NBA Finals, though. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Bill Russell, maybe it should be up there. Let me know what your guys' top 5, maybe even top 10 greatest of all time list is so far as we enter the 1970s. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hit that like button if you did. Subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. Also, down in the description below is all the other links, podcasts, sports podcasts down below. We did live stream today, so if you guys want to go back and listen to that, talking, NBA, NFL, Aaron Rodgers trade stuff. Also, we go over the NBA MVP, who I guess we'll talk about who we think should be the MVP. And yeah, other than that, guys, hope you guys enjoyed, And I will see you guys in the next episode. Later, guys.